let's have a look at differences between alpha male versus sigma male. This is the 5 steps to being alpha or sigma. Depends what you vibe with. I vibe with more sigma male personality traits. Okay, so we have here alpha male on the left, sigma male on the right. We've got this from Google Images. An alpha male is a dominant man. So we have this from Google Images. An alpha man, you can see it's pretty much the same. Everything's the same except for, we'll go down to the second one here, outgoing and loud for the alpha versus introvert and loners by nature. So the alpha has to be center of attention at the club, but the sigma is more the guy who owns the club. He's introvert and loners by nature. The alpha leading, using their dominating nature and physical prowess, and the sigma leads without exerting authority. How do you lead without exerting authority? It's going to be by example, isn't it? It's going to be by experience, okay? So when myself being the number one YouTube coach ever, I've built more YouTube careers than anyone else in YouTube history. People listen to me because of that experience versus me being dominating and having physical prowess, saying, upload this video now. People just see the careers I've created and they're like, well, I want that. What do I do? Okay, and so I can lead from experience, okay, and results. Next one we have at the top of the social hierarchy. Alphas need to be top of the social hierarchy. You think, guys like Andrew Tate, loud and obnoxious, just say what people want to hear to get that sort of fame and attention. And then you have the sigmas who stay outside the social hierarchy by choice, okay, which delves into the next one where the alpha, you could say someone's on Andrew Tate. I'll use Andrew Tate because he's quite well known recently. Andrew Tate conforms to the expectation of society. He's an alpha. Myself, being a sigma, I do not conform to the expectations of society. People say, hang on, but Andrew Tate, he doesn't conform. Yes, he does. Andrew Tate smokes. He drinks alcohol. These are socially expected things, okay? He loves his supercars. He wears fashion. He wears the fashion that's marketed on TV, okay? He doesn't have his own fashion sense. He says, well, what's being advertised in the GQ magazine, I will wear that. I will conform to the expectation of society, okay? What sort of cars does he drive? He drives the cars that have the most social approval, the cars that conform mostly to the expectations of society. Oh, wow, you're successful. You have a Ferrari, you have a Bugatti, you have a Lambo. Okay, so Andrew Tate conforms to the expectations of society. He says sugar's bad, you got to eat meat for protein. He lies about his steroid usage. I don't take testosterone, but he does. So he needs to conform to the expectations of society because he's only an alpha versus a sigma. Me, I don't conform to the expectations of society. I'm 45. I've never had a driver's license. I ride a bicycle, okay? I have a girlfriend half my age. I have my pets are 5 feral cats that we adopted and got desexed from the garden. I don't conform to the expectations of society. I dress like a bum most of the time, okay? I've had a vasectomy. I promote vasectomies. I promote sugar consumption. I promote athletic performance. I talk about my own steroid usage. I educate people about the truth about steroids. These are things that get me a lot of social disapproval, but I don't care because my life as a sigma is about living my truth and helping other people live that. So these are the differences between the sigma and alpha. Both are fantastic lifestyles to live, but I would say of the alphas I know and have met over the years, they all seem quite depressed. Okay, they all have drug issues, mostly cocaine, alcohol, cigarettes, nicotine, things like that. People say, cigars is healthy. A cigar has about 100 to 200 milligrams of nicotine. Okay, a cigarette has about 10 milligrams of nicotine. Andrew Tate is a drug addict. He can't quit. He's always smoking his stuff and drinking alcohol. He's undercarbed. He's conforming to expectations of society, and he's a victim of that. Okay, I think Andrew Tate's a fantastic speaker, by the way, and he says some great stuff. But none of it's his original content. He just sort of parrots what is trending and what will sell, because he loves the money. He loves the supercars. He loves conforming to the expectations of society by being excessively wealthy, and hey, good on him as long as he's happy with it. But I don't think he is, because if he was happy, he'd be sober, or he'd be more open about what he really is into. Anyway, let's go to the 5 steps of becoming a Sigma. And guys, Alpha's good, but let's go with Sigma, Let's go with Sigma. Sigma's going to be a better quality of life. So anyone can become a Sigma. Any man can become a Sigma. Women as well. Okay, this is just personal choice. But I guess this video is for men mostly. But hey, women are listening as well, so thanks, girls, for coming this far. And these in no particular order. These just came out top of my head. I want to say, to be a Sigma, the 5 steps to being Sigma, in no particular order, but with number 1 coming first up in my head, is emotional stability. All right, you need to have emotional stability. That is one of the biggest gifts you can have. What is emotional stability? Emotional stability is you get pushed around physically or mentally, but emotionally you stay strong. You stay stable, meaning you're not up and down too much. All right, if you get up and down, if you go up, you quickly come back down to ground level to balance it out. Okay, you have little spikes here and there of like down or up, but over time you learn how to just control these things. It's a bit like riding a bicycle. The first time you get on the bicycle, you're like, holy shit, you're not even breathing, you're holding your breath, and you're just like, your handlebars are all tight and rigid, and you maybe fall off the bicycle, I'm not doing this ever again, this sucks. But then you see the kid down the street riding, you're like, hey, they can do it, I can do it. So you persist, and you eventually learn how to ride a bike. I teach adults how to ride bikes. Right? I teach people who've never ridden a bike how to ride a bike. Okay, that's my skill set there. Just put the seat right down so they can touch the ground very, 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 very easily. Get them on a kid's bike so they've got full control of the bike, so they feel super confident on the bike, and then go up from there. So emotional stability, that is the guys, man. I've been around a lot of women in my life, and the number one thing they hate, that they can't tolerate, is a guy who's emotionally not stable. It doesn't matter how hot you are, how much money you pay or whatever. She quickly gets tired of the man who doesn't have emotional stability. Because women don't have much emotional stability. The average woman doesn't, because it's just estrogen, and it's up and down, all this stuff. But and social narratives, they make a woman's life harder. But so women really thrive being around men who are emotionally stable. They love it. They fucking love it. Okay, they can't get enough of guys who have emotional stability, and not a fake emotional stability. All right, not just like, hey, I'm an orbiting beta, and I'm going to be nice today and pretend everything's okay. No. And that's better than nothing, but for a woman. But the emotional stability they want is like, you can be in testing situations, and you will be maybe scared. Maybe there's an aggressive situation going on. But then you switch that fear into just awareness of what's going on. Okay? Looking for ways to protect yourself against the crazy dog or crazy person who's undercarb and having a mental health episode or whatever. So it's normal to be scared. It's normal to be angry, but it's also about not letting those emotions spool up too much and spiral up too much where they become the dominant frame of the setting. So it's good to feel fear. It's good to feel scared. It's good to feel anger, but not let them totally control the frame. All right, Like the other day, this driver came close to me and Natasha, and he put up with the lights, and I was so close to punch him in the face, because I said, was that deliberate? He goes, yeah, it was. And so I was just, my anger spooled up, and I was about to crack him in the face, and I'm thinking, there's cameras around here, like, do I really want to, So I didn't do that. I didn't punch him in the face. I controlled my anger. I had emotional stability, and I just cut into him with words, all right? And he got cut. And he backed right down, and no one got hurt. Okay, so I control, and he got the lesson. Don't bully cyclists. All right, don't be a fuckwit. And no one, there's no police involved. I didn't get a conviction. I didn't, it's just, he didn't get hurt. Like, so it's like he just got a bit of an emotional hip and shoulder. Okay, and that was all that was necessary. But so I had to control my emotions. I was raging. especially when he said it was deliberate. I was just like, fuck, you know. So, but I had the emotional stability. I got the job done. He learned his lesson. He ain't ever going to do that again. Because he ain't ever going to do that again. But it wasn't excessive what I did, okay? It was just enough to get the goal achieved. So that is having emotional stability, all right? And then when the situation was over, I'm back to normal. I didn't get all tense about it, blah, 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 blah. Talked about it a little bit, could have done things better, or blah, 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 but it wasn't, it wasn't raging. The rage is gone, okay? Done, dusted. So that's having emotional stability, okay? And life will test you, all right? Being around really, really high value, attractive women is a great way to develop emotional stability, because most guys can't be around chicks like that because they get possessive or insecure or beta or whatever, and they're just like, ah. So I reckon how to learn emotional stability, hang out with hot chicks. All right. What's a hot chick? A hot chick is what society deems as a hot chick. The hot chick is a girl who walks down the mall with you and she gets all the attention. And someone who looks like one of my girlfriends over the years. Okay. And then the next one we got here, the next step to alpha to sigma is body acceptance. All right. That's a huge one, guys. Now you have in the fitness industry, the fitness industry is bullshit. Okay. The fitness industry should be called the fake natty industry, where we take steroids and lie to your face about it, okay? Because that's what the fitness industry is. Most of these guys aren't even fucking fit. They starve themselves down. They're smashing trenbolone acetate. They're smashing letrozole. They're smashing cabergoline. They're smashing testosterone. They're smashing masteron, and they're like, I'm natural. Look at me. Buy my protein powder, and you'll never ever look like me because you're natty and I'm not. That's what the fitness industry really is these days. So, and it's hard for men out there because there's still these jack dudes. Like I use steroids myself. I've been around steroids since 1997, and for a few reasons I use them. Which, if you want to know, watch those videos about why I use steroids here and there. Mostly experimentation, mostly personal curiosity, and journalism reasons. But they're common as fuck, right? So guys are out there, like if you're, and there's nothing wrong with improving your body. Like we all know women prefer guys who use steroids. Right? Even the girls who say, I don't like steroids. I don't like guys on steroids. And then you see them at a strip club or a hen's night, a few drinks in them, and they're like all over the stripper. And the strippers, 99.9% of strippers, male strippers, are on steroids, okay? I've got a lot of stripper friends over the years I've coached with getting lean, etc. And they tell me stories and stuff, and they all use steroids, okay? And I've sold steroids to strippers. Like, it's how it is. Or I've directed them where they can get steroids from, because I'd never sell steroids. But, that's just the deal there. So body acceptance. So if you are fat, if you're obese, if you are like 4 foot, all right, if you've got a dick the size of a freaking horse, or you got a dick the size of a cashew nut, it's just about having body acceptance, okay? Because there's things you can and can't change, okay? And when it comes to your height or your face or whatever, you can improve things, but you don't want to be. And this is the hard one, because women are very, very harsh with their judgment towards men. That's why a lot of men become gay, because they can't handle the harshness, the criticism of women, and that stems from their mother's criticism of them. And so to avoid that criticism of women, they're like, fuck it, I'm gay, or I'm bisexual. Because women, they just make me feel so bad about myself. So big step about that one, guys, is just accept who you are, all right? Accept who you are. People are like, that's easy for you, Harley. You're 6 foot, you got a big cock, and, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I get it, but girls don't know I've got a big cock until they know. And being 6 foot, yeah, that's awesome. I don't know regrets with that. Not that I have a choice of that, but when I was 6 foot and 59 kilos, I didn't get much attention from women. But I was okay with that, because I love being 59 kilos and 60 kilos and being a super, super skinny cyclist and runner. Like I enjoy that. And I had a hot girlfriend when I was that skinny. And most women didn't find me attractive being that skinny. But I didn't care. I was accepting of that. I just like being a skinny cyclist and runner. That was my identity, okay? And because I was fine with that, I could pull chicks the other guys are like, how the fuck? You know, people used to do comments all the time. Why is she with that skinny dude? You know, he's a skinny guy. Like, she needs a real man. You know, but I was making my girlfriends and the chick I was with at the time, you know, sexually satisfied, etc. They wanted to fuck daily, you know, or whenever they wanted. Depends on what else was going on. But, you know, so it's like, because it was my frame. Now, obviously, would those girls be more horny for me at now, like 84 kilos muscular? Yeah, for sure. Okay, this is a given. But it's the body acceptance you got to have, number one. Because you can be a hot stud dude and not have body acceptance, all right? Let me just check this is recording. Okay, excellent, it's recording. You can be a hot stud dude, all right? And you take your shirt off or you fucking flop your big dick out or whatever. And then you're like, oh, maybe she's had bigger and better than me. And then you ask her, if you had like hotter guys than me, like I'm feeling a bit insecure right now. She's going to be like, what the fuck what did you just say? Are you serious? She'd be like dripping wet, just fucking gaping for you, man. You know, just creaming, all right? Creaming at the lips, okay? Just ready for you. And then you say, oh, like, am I big enough? Like, have you been with bigger guys than me or like more muscular? Seriously, she would dry up like the fucking Sahara. And you could be this stud. You could have like a male stripper body with 99% of women want to fuck you and 1% would, but they're lying about it. You know? So, because you don't accept your body, she's going to be like, fucking serious? Oh my God. This guy, what the fuck is he saying? All right? But then again, you could be like a dude who's super skinny or super fat, but you accept your body and she'll fuck you with more enjoyment than the hot stud guy, stripper, you know, who doesn't have body acceptance. So guys, it's not about how you look as much as it's important, but it's not as important as body acceptance. You could be you could be 4 foot tall with a micro schlong, okay? If you have body acceptance, that's hot to a woman, okay? Now, they might not have that on the list that they want to marry a dwarf with a micro schlong, but women are governed and ruled by their thoughts and emotions. So if you can get her thoughts and emotions, you know, of accepting you because you accept yourself, then yeah, you know, you're going to be spraying that micro schlong juice all over, you know, it's just going to happen. So that's the thing guys don't understand, is they don't understand body acceptance. So if you're balding or you got freckles all over your face, it was something that people might tease you about online or just try and prey on that because it's a social narrative. Like, yeah, you look old or you look young. You're young. Why can you give advice? Or you're old. You look like a fucking baseball mitt that no one's thrown out in the Arizona sun. Whatever. Like, people are always haters gonna hate. Right? Haters are testers. They're good. I love my haters. You know, haters help you accept yourself more, okay? But a lot of people can't handle that hate, the social disapproval, and they end their life, or they live a life of endless where they're not really fully enjoying it because they just care about what people think too much. We all care what people think, okay? You have to care what people think, but not at a level that gives you depression, man, okay? And it's not about being delusional. It's just about going, okay, person has a point, you know, blah, blah, blah. They're just a hater, you know. If I was, you know, gorgeously stunning according to social narrative directions, then these haters would say, oh, you look how hot you think you look. You think you're fucking hot, don't you? You think you're hot shit, don't you? Haters are just there to help us strengthen our emotional stability, okay? That's what a hater's job is. Hater's job is to help you accept yourself and to help you develop more emotional stability. So guys, body acceptance. This goes to girls as well. I've been with chicks who would not be on the front cover of Victoria's Secret magazine in 1999, and I've been with girls who would, and you know, so I've been both ends of the spectrums, and I'll tell you what, the sex with the girl who accepts her body is a lot more enjoyable than the girl who's like, oh, I don't like this, oh, you know, so come on, baby, like, I'm hard, I find you attractive, I find you sexy, let's not ruin the vibe by you being, you know, this absence of body acceptance. Now people are like, no, you can't be, if you're obese, you can't be body accepting because that means you're fat and you got heart disease. Yeah, I get that, but you can still accept your body in that moment. It doesn't mean that you're glorifying heart disease, Okay, it just means I accept myself who I am in this very, very second, the present moment, because that's all you have in life is the present. You don't have yesterday, you don't have tomorrow, you only have now. You had yesterday, yesterday's gone, okay? You have now. So being accepting of the body if you're obese or whatever doesn't mean you're accepting, heart disease, okay? Obviously, if you're following my stuff, you're going to be working on nutrition, etc. But it's about accepting yourself now, because if you don't accept yourself now, you won't accept yourself later on, because your mindset is like, oh, I'm not good enough yet to accept myself, okay? So the body acceptance has to happen now, because if you can't accept yourself, if you're, that's where my success is, I can stop taking steroids and go back down to 60 kilos and be happy and fine with that, because I'm happy being 60 kilos, skinny cyclist flying up the climbs. I'm happy doing that. I'm also happy looking more like a male stripper and feeling that female attention as well. I'm happy either way, okay? And that makes girls happy to be around me, okay? Even if they might have a preference here and there, they're still happy to be around me because I accept myself. And most women don't accept themselves. So if you're a guy who accepts yourself, and is improving yourself, women are really into that. Sigma life. Okay. And next one we're going to talk about is nutrition. Nutrition is nutrition is so important. And everyone's out there like, clean up your diet, clean up nutrition. Like I'm on these steroid forums or guy forums or alpha forums. I read, I participate here and there. And people are like, dial in nutrition. I've got my nutrition dialed in. What the fuck does that even mean? Clean up your nutrition? What does that mean? Are you healthy? What does that mean? It's so subjective. I'll give objective parameters. What is objective versus subjective? Subjective is like, it's a nice day today. The weather's nice today. That's subjective. Objective is, the weather today is very nice because it's 25 Celsius, it's calm wind, it's blue skies, and the humidity is about 70%. Today's very nice weather based on these points. That's subjective. So I like to give objective advice when it comes to nutrition, so people can, quantify it, so people can understand it better. I'd like to talk like I'm talking to 5-year-olds, so people can just go, yeah, well, that's pretty simple. Often for many people's egos, what I say is too simple. They can't absorb it. They need some jargon bullshit where they don't understand, but because it's jargon, they're like, yeah, this is cool. I don't understand it, and I can't help me, but this is cool. That's most people out there. It's the ego driving them to want to seek more and more jargon. They don't even understand it, but they think it's cool. Anyway, nutrition, carbs, man. You need to fucking eat as much carbs as you want. If you don't have as much sugar and carbohydrate as you want, I said the word sugar. Yeah, sugar is the most essential nutrient for humans. Sugar is the most essential human nutrient. When your blood glucose is 0, you are dead. Okay. When your blood fats is 0, you're not dead. Okay. Sugar's everything. Sugar fuels your brain. Sugar fuels your dick. Sugar fuels your balls. Your sperm cells only run on fructose. They're going to call it fructose. They're like, hey, let's be scientific. Let's be PC. So they call it fructose. I just made that up, but it could be true. So you need to have sugar. All right, sugar. When I talk about sugar, I'm talking sucrose. What is sucrose? Sucrose, the molecular structure of sucrose, carbon, hydrogen, oxygens, they are always the same, no matter the source of the sucrose. If you get sucrose from white table sugar, it's the same. It's the same carbon bonds as sucrose. It's the same molecular structure as sucrose from corn, sucrose from fruit, sucrose from peas, sucrose from lentils, sucrose from cane or beet, sucrose from the packet at the supermarket of white table sugar is the same molecular bonding, the same chemical as sucrose from other sources, okay? Same molecular structure does not change. And if you can prove otherwise, no, fruit's different sugar to cane sugar, then if you can prove that, you will win, or you'll be nominated for a Nobel Prize in chemistry, for sure. But sucrose is sucrose, no matter the source. So if you're adding sugar to your fruit, you're getting all the fiber and nutrients and micronutrition that people love to cream over. You're getting all your nutrition and fibers, and you're getting extra sugar, okay, that you wouldn't get otherwise, because today's fruit is terribly unsweet. It's picked too green, And the varieties aren't that high sugar like they were 100 years ago or so. Just talk to any grandma or grandpa. Even me, like 20 years ago, the fruit was sweeter, okay? No, my taste buds haven't changed. I still find that fruit occasionally. And I'll share it with people, like, wow, this apricot's insane. Oh, I didn't like mangoes, but this one's amazing, you know? Oh, this watermelon, where's this watermelon from? Is this watermelon? It's so sweet. Until you've had really high bricks value fruit, you think I'm just dreaming. So getting enough carbohydrate. Why is carbohydrate so important? You know, it's because carbohydrate determines how much dopamine and serotonin you can have in your body, okay? So many people go to caffeine, cocaine, etc., drama, etc., to get some dopamine when they can just go to sugar, all right? When you pat a cat or a dog or you hug someone you care about, you get a dopamine hit. When you have sugar, you get a dopamine hit. When you have cocaine, you get a dopamine hit. So people go, hang on, sugar's as addictive as cocaine. Look at that. Look how it lights up the brain receptors. Yeah. And then go take a picture with the brain when you're hugging someone you care about. It's lit up as well. So we're going to ban hugs. Hugging's a poison. Hugging's a drug. We can't hug people because it lights up the dopamine receptors the same as cocaine does. There's fucking, there's people out there, man. These fucking memes on Instagram that you become the meme. When you think sugar's bad, you become the meme. You become the NPC meme. Andrew Tate, NPC, in his Bugatti, smoking cigarettes, drinking alcohol, paying for sex with hookers. Hey, nothing wrong with that if that's what you're into. I'm just saying, Andrew Tate is NPC. He's alpha, but he's NPC. He conforms to social expectations. Rolex watches, designer sunglasses, jewelry, hairstyles that are socially accepted, fashion, posture, etc. I mean, it's good to have good posture. It's good for your spine health. We'll let him on that one. But Andrew Tate, he's a great speaker. So nutrition, you want to keep your fats low. When we increase our fat over, 10, 20, 30 grams a day, we're going to increase our body fat noticeably. We're increasing our insulin resistance. Okay, type 2 diabetes is caused by excess dietary fat. Look it up. Look up all the studies done where they induce diabetes in monkeys or, in animals close to us. And I'm against animal experimentation, but I'm just saying that when they're inducing diabetes, type 2 diabetes into monkeys, they only can do that on a high-fat diet, okay? They can only do that on a high-fat diet. When they're doing it on humans, they can only replicate insulin resistance when the human has a high-fat diet. They can only do that. Anything over 30 grams a day of fat, you're starting to get up in that insulin resistance category, for most people. That's why, if you don't believe me, people, I'm doing keto, Durianrider's wrong, I'm about to turn off, I'm unsubscribing. If you're doing high-fat diets, if you're eating a lot of healthy fats, go to the doctors and get an oral glucose tolerance test. The oral glucose tolerance test is the gold standard test for diabetes. Your morning blood sugar, that's important, but it's not as important as an indicator of diabetes type 2, aka insulin resistance, as the oral glucose tolerance test. So please, if you think that sugar's bad, so you're loading up on fats, you're diabetic, I guarantee it, go to the doctors, get an oral glucose tolerance test, and you will be shocked, okay? There's a lot of people out there with diabetes who don't even know about it, type 2 diabetes, okay? So, and I've been working with diabetics for about 20 years now, and everyone, type 2 and type 1 people, they experience incredible, control of their blood sugars following my protocols, and type 2 diabetics following my protocols are no longer type 2 after a week or two, okay? They're like, hang on, I don't need this metformin 850 anymore. What's going on here? My doctor didn't tell me this. Also, if you're using metformin, please Google up metformin and B12 deficiency. A lot of people are prescribed metformin, and the doctors didn't tell them, hey, this wipes your B12, okay? So I recommend B12 injections. I've given so many type 2 diabetics B12 injections over the years, that they didn't want to change their diet, but to what I recommend. So, okay, so you're going to stay on your metformin, but please let me give you a B12 shot or go and do B12 injections because you are going to be running B12 deficiency. And many of the type 2s on metformin we tested were B12 deficient based on their clinical blood tests. But the doctor, like, why didn't my doctor tell me this? And it's like, well, your doctor doesn't really care about you, dude. The doctor cares about how much money they make from you. So people are doctors, 99.9% of doctors are doctors for the insane money they can make and the ego. I'm a doctor. Look at me. I'm a doctor. And doctors are important in many situations, especially in emergency wards, etc. But most doctors out there don't care about your health, right? Don't lump it onto get the doctor's opinion, but you got to do your own homework as well. It's your body, it's your choices, okay? So that's nutrition, and most people out there trying to lose weight. If you're trying to lose weight, do my protocols, and you will get fucking lean, man. You'll get fucking lean relative to anyone else in your family, all right? And then we also got another step to meditation. Another step to Sigma life, Alpha life is meditation. What is meditation? Is it sitting in lotus position with your eyes closed, doing some om? Yeah. For me, meditation is awareness without thought. Meditation for me is awareness without thought. So you're aware of what's going on, but you don't have any thoughts about it, okay? And a great example is when you're fighting or when you're sparring with someone. For me, I have a background in martial arts, kickboxing, boxing, etc. So the best flow state to be in is when you're not thinking about the fight, you are just aware of the person's foot posture, where their hands are, where their energy is, where their eyes are, etc. When I'm fighting or sparring with someone, I don't look them in the eyes. All right. A lot of people do, and that's fine. There's a lot of guys out there who do fighting because they're gay and they want that masculine energy, masculine presence. So they look at each other in the eyes like they're having sex, and that's fine. But for me, I never look at an opponent or a friend or whoever I'm sparring or fighting with in the eyes. All right. I just have sort of a spatial awareness of where their hands and feet are, because their eyes aren't going to punch me, okay? Their eyes aren't going to kick me. The eyes aren't going to knee or elbow me. It's the limbs that do that. So if you're looking at someone's eyes, you can't see their feet, okay? Now, again, there's intimidation and all that sexual game that goes on in fighting. A lot of good fighters are gay, and that's fine, but I'm just saying, especially BJJ guys, rolling around the floor together. Now, again, there's nothing wrong with being gay, okay? I'm just having a bit of a banter here. But I'm just saying, then when you're in a fight situation, sparring, is you want to have awareness. Right? When you're looking at someone's eyes, you're having thoughts. Okay, when you're looking just blurred at their whole body, you're having awareness. Does that make sense? Because when you look at someone's eyes, you think, what are they thinking? What are they thinking? What I'm thinking? And then it goes from there. So you want to have awareness without thought. Okay. Another example of meditation is just like exercising, like on your bicycle or running or doing weights or whatever, where you're just burning with lactate, and you just have awareness of that lactate burn, but you don't have an opinion about it. You have no thoughts about it. Okay. You just are going, yeah, I'm aware I'm doing 300 watts or 400 watts or 1,000 watts as long as I can. And I'm aware that this burn is fucking building up and it's killing. And I'm aware of that. I don't have an opinion of it. Actually, is it killing me? No, it's not killing me. You just have awareness of it. And I've always ran my best races, done my best PRs on the bicycle when I just have awareness of that thought and I just let it go and let your breathing go and just let it all go. All right. And then you won't have the pain as much. You'll have the pain, but you won't have the suffering. Okay. Pain is essential. Suffering is optional. Suffering is when we have a thought about the pain. Pain is when we're just aware of the pain. Yeah, it hurts, but I don't have a thought about it. Okay, so that's why I like avoiding painkillers. A lot of guys I race and ride with and run with, they smash painkillers, and yeah, it's a huge performance enhancer, especially in fighting, etc., because you don't feel the shin kicks as much. But the pain's good. I like the pain because I want to develop my meditation practice of having awareness without thought. Okay, so I'd recommend it. Avoid painkillers so you can have more awareness without thought in sport. And that's the best place to learn meditation is on a bicycle, up a hill, going full strap and having the burn, all right? And having awareness of the traffic, having awareness of the conditions around you. Not like looking down thinking, oh, my legs hurt, and then you run in the back of a car or a pedestrian or whatever. Having awareness without thought. Meditation is awareness without thought. You can do meditation. You might be on a bus busting to go have a piss, You just have an awareness without thought. I need to have a piss, but you're not thinking about pissing your pants. So you just have an awareness. Awareness without thought, okay? Can be sexual when you're a guy and you're with a chick and you're really aroused and you're thinking, I'm going to bust my nut. Then you just have awareness of something else. Have awareness of the pillow. Have awareness of the birds outside. Have awareness of, maybe how far away a boyfriend is from knocking on the front door. Like just having awareness without thought, Okay, it will help you in many ways in life: bedroom, boardroom, bicycle. Meditation is awareness without thought, and it's good to think about that. Awareness without thought. That's meditation. The next one we're going to talk about is sober life. All right, and lastly, we have 5 steps to being alpha or sigma. Is sober, sobriety. What does that mean? Well, you're sober. It means you don't take drugs, or you have a break from taking drugs. Now, people are like, you take drugs, Junior, you can't talk about sober. Yeah, fair enough. I take drugs, and you know I take drugs because I'm transparent about it. Otherwise, I could lie like the rest and say, no, I don't. But I also have been sober for a long, long time. Let me talk about that. I've used street drugs, recreational drugs, prescription drugs. For me, drugs are drugs, okay? If you're using drugs, you're not sober. But coffee's like legal. Yeah, great, but it's not sober. This is my definition of sober. Sober means you don't use drugs. Exception maybe painkillers in some emergency situations, surgery, etc. Okay. Otherwise, you don't use drugs. You don't use caffeine. You don't use thyroid meds. You do use insulin if you're type 1 diabetic. So we're not talking, insulin, because you need that. If you're type 1 diabetic, please never stop taking insulin if you're type 1 diabetic. But we're talking more like mental drugs, things that affect your mindset, like caffeine, cacao, theobromine, crack, cocaine, Ritalin, methylphenidate, modafinil. Obviously some of these drugs you can be relatively fine on, and some like crack cocaine and fentanyl you're not. But they're all drugs, and they all affect our sober state of mind. So I recommend people have a big sober break from doing stimulants, especially stimulants, Xanax, etc. Those antidepressant sort of drugs, SSRIs, Xanax, lithium, Abilify, those things. That's my recommendation, is people get sober so then they can have their original thoughts back. And people are like, no, I don't want that, because my original thoughts are negative and I want to use drugs to drown those out. Well, you can do that, but now you are a drug addict because you need those drugs to drown out those thoughts, to drown out that fatigue. You need these drugs, so now you're a drug addict. Thus, you cannot be as happy as you could be otherwise if you are sober or have a sober identity. Okay. What does a sober identity mean? That's what I call myself. Is I do use drugs. Like occasionally I use stimulants, caffeine, not coffee, but like I have like maybe a gel that's got like some caffeine in there, or a bit of vegan chocolate that has caffeine, theobromine in there, and so it gives me a little buzz. Or stimulants like modafinil, Ritalin, methylphenidate, etc. I might use a quarter tab here and there on a very rare occasion, not every day, not every week, not even every month. So if you tested my blood most of the year, I would be negative for these sort of things. I don't use street drugs, like speed or meth or anything like that, because I find they are dirty. You don't know what you're getting in there, and there's better options for stimulants. And those things as well, they're just too strong. Like meth and shit, man, like coke, it's just too fucking strong. Now, if I was in Colombia, then yeah, maybe I would try some high-grade coke just to experience that. But even then, a very, very small dosage, just to say, yeah, I've been to Colombia, I did some coke, I would do that. But otherwise, it wouldn't be every day, it wouldn't be every month. But the thing of those street drugs is they just blast you, man. They fucking blast you. They blast your dopamine receptors, then you need more and more of a hit, okay? Unlike with blasting dopamine with nutrition like sugar and stuff, there's only so much sugar you can eat, because you're like, my taste buds are like, ugh, I'm gagging out here, I'm good to go. You just fall asleep and relax. But with these cocaine and stuff, people just, look out in the street, man. Look at the people who do my protocol on unlimited sugar, how healthy and happy they look compared to their previous self. How slim they look compared to previous self. And then compare them with people who use, unlimited amounts of cocaine and crack and shit. It's fucking night and day. Like, you look glowy, you look dewy when you do my protocols relative to yourself beforehand. So these street drugs and prescription stimulants can give too much of a dopamine blast, especially even I see kids, the dosage they get given for Ritalin and stuff, it's like, fucking hell, man, you're a kid, and you're taking that many milligrams a day. I'm an 84 kilo adult, and I take a quarter of a tablet, like, And I get like a bzzz from that most of the day. And these kids are taking like 3 or 4 or 5 pills a day. I'm just thinking, what the fuck? This is wrong. And they're taking it every day. Take your medication. And I'm just like, holy shit. No wonder when they're teenagers, they're just going off the rails. It's like, fuck, man. These kids don't even know what it's like to be sober. So I feel sorry for them. I feel sorry for the parents. They just, it's crazy. But it's legal. It's legal. My doctor prescribed it. Damn. People should have kids if they need to give their kids those drugs. You should be a better parent. You don't understand what it's like. Yeah, I do understand. You should have understood before you had kids, man. All right. And now you got kids. It's your due diligence to put your effort into them, so they don't need these fucking powerful street drug prescription style stuff every single day. Okay. It's fucking crazy. Anyway, I'm getting off topic there. But yeah, it's crazy, man. So I recommend people, in my opinion, have a break, have a holiday from doing any drug like Ritalins or caffeines or crack or whatever. Okay, have a break. Be sober. Be tired. Be grumpy. Be with your thoughts and emotions. All right. You got touched up as a kid. That's not good. But the real abuse is you taking Xanax every day because you can't handle the anxiety. Because when you think about stuff, like, you don't have to think about stuff. You go, yeah, that happened. That person was mentally damaged. They were unwell. I was in the wrong time, in the wrong place with the wrong person. That happened. It's not good. It's not acceptable, but it's happened. It's in the past. I don't have to replay it. I don't have to have anger and hate and resentment towards that person. They're mentally deranged. I can let it go, okay? Just like if you get bitten by a pit bull dog or something, or a crazy dog, like, it's just a crazy dog. Like, don't think all dogs are the same. Don't be freaking out about it. Otherwise, you become the abuser now, okay? That one thing happened or happened for a period of time, but now you apply it for life. Now you are the abuser of yourself. Plus you're doing these Xanax drugs, etc., or weed to numb it down. Now you're doing the abuse. You're damaging your brain cells because you can't give up on your ego that you have got this identity of like, well, I'm a victim. This is my identity. Give me attention and love. You won't get love from doing that. You get obligation, attention, but that won't be genuine. All right, people won't want to be around you though. Yeah. Okay, so be careful what identity you put out into the world. So yeah, get off. That's my recommendation is having a break from all these things. You know, I took half a Xanax once just to see what the deal is, and I hated it. I was like, fuck, man. It was like, just, I didn't have my thought control. I like being able to choose my thoughts, and this Xanax just zonked me. And so I went for a run to try and like burn out of my system, and then went for a ride just trying to metabolize out of my system so I can get back to thinking. And then once the Xanax subsided, I'm like, oh, that's better. Fuck this Valium Xanax shit, man. It's fucking bullshit. All right, no thanks. But yeah, I recommend people have a break from that, because then when you can actually think, you can plan and get yourself out of certain situations. Oh, I got kids, and I'm a single mom. I take Xanax to cope. You're not coping though. You're not coping, all right? Because your kids don't have a fully present, sober fucking mum, and they're going to repeat the same mistakes you did, okay? You need to be sober for your kids, man. You need to harden the fuck up and carve the fuck up and do my protocols, and you won't need this shit, okay? It is shit. It's shit for your aesthetic. It's shit for your kidneys. It's shit for your brain. It's shit for your kids. It fucks you up. That's not my opinion. That's fact. Look in the mirror. Look around, okay? I can spot 20-something girls who are on Xanax. They don't have the glow. Their glow is gone, and they're 20 or 18. They should have glow, and they don't because of Xanax, etc. Okay, SSRIs, they just stack on the weight, and it's just like, man, damn, crazy, sad. It's for me, it's sad. Okay, it's sad. It's not all about looks, Harley. Yeah, it's not about looks, but women like to look good, and so my advice is helping women look good, look their best for their genetics, etc. So that's why I recommend sober life, is so you can have your thoughts back, so you can process the thoughts, and then when you can process your thoughts, you're like, hang on, I don't need these drugs anymore, because I'm not abusing myself with replaying the past and having resentment and anger towards other people. It could be my mum, my dad, my uncle, or my auntie, or whatever. I'm not replaying this shit back anymore, because it happened. It's fucking happened a year ago, or 50 years ago, whatevs, it wasn't good, but I was in the wrong place. I just had bad luck, okay? It wasn't my fault, just had bad luck. Let's fucking move on, okay? Forgive and forget, blah, blah, blah. Just move on. Otherwise, you're abusing yourself. You're becoming your abuser, chemically and emotionally abusing yourself. Fuck that. So sober life just teaches that effortlessly, and I stopped drinking coffee in 1999, and I went for 4 years with no caffeine. I had like a canned Lipton tea in 2003, and I felt like I was on 10 G's of Coke. So I went 4 years of absolute caffeine free, and it was fantastic. It was fantastic. It helped me get in touch with my fatigue levels, okay? And I haven't drunk coffee ever since. I mean, I've had caffeine since, but not a cup of coffee. Just because, so yeah, caffeine and stimulants are not part of my weekly routine. They're not part of my daily routine. I do use them a few times a year, but they're not part of my regular routine. And I'll only use stimulants if I feel very rested. If I feel super energetic, I'll use stims. I won't use stims if I'm tired, because if I'm tired, I need sleep, water, and sugar. People are like, no, but then I'm going to gain weight if I stop using stims. You're going to gain health. You're going to gain mental perspective. You're going to be, do I look fucking fat to you? I don't use stims, right? Like for the weight loss. I use stims if I'm 100% to go to 102%. For sure. Like I see it with professional cyclists as well. Like the guys who only use stims on race day are the guys who look fresh-faced and they're cool to be around. All right, I've ridden with a lot of pro riders in the world over the time, and one of those guys that stands out is Tadej Pogacar. He's like a super fresh-faced kid, and he's like just happy-go-lucky, and he's just a fucking monster on the bike because his stimulant usage is very, very low, and he uses it mostly for race days and other things, But that's just the deal. Like the less stims you can use, the better you'll have mental health. And if you've got any depression, anxiety, excess depression, please stop using caffeine. Cut it out. Stop using any stimulants. These things create more extra anxiety. Anxiety is normal. Anxiety is here to protect you from the tiger. Anxiety is overthinking things. But these stimulants make you overthinking. Okay? So if you want to have a break from your brain, overthinking, overworking, then just cut the stims out. Please, have a break. You can add them in down the track when you no longer need them to cope in life, when they just enhance. When you're feeling 100%, then you can use stims to go 110, 102%, but otherwise don't use them. All my girlfriends rarely use stims. That's one of the first things. If you come live with me, you have to give up the stims. You have to have a break from them, all right? Why do I do that? Because girls without stims are just better to be around, okay? Occasionally they have some stims here and there, but it's like maybe once a month, every few months. But it's not regular, it's not weekly, it's not daily, okay? Girls, never use stims for weight loss. You'll just fuck yourself up, okay? You won't be good to be around, and guys will quickly tire of being around you. Well, it's not about the guys, Harley. Yeah, it is. It's about having that masculine presence women really crave. Okay, just how it is. And that's fine, but don't lie about it. Don't, because it's okay to lie about things in life, but if you lie about things that are going to hold you back to yourself, then you're holding yourself back, okay? Like, I lie all the time. Someone says, does my bum look fat in this dress? I'm not going to say, yeah, it looks like a fucking tugboat. I'm going to say, yeah, this is great, your curve's amazing. Why are you going to hurt someone like that? There's times where you have to lie, but there's also times where you have to be honest with yourself and say, look, me using these drugs isn't helping myself. I'm just numbing my reality. Let me just feel that reality and change my perspective on that reality and understand that happened in my life because I was in the wrong time at the wrong place with the wrong person. It was bad luck. It wasn't my fault. Moving on. Or maybe it was your fault because you had warnings that person wasn't good and you still deny those warnings from your parents or whoever. You live and learn. Just keep walking. It's okay. It's done and dusted, mate. It's in the past. Learn from it. Don't worry about it. It's easy for you to say that, Harley. You'd have never had it. You wouldn't fucking have a clue what I've been through, alright? This isn't a competition to compare anyway. This is just saying, if you want to have a great quality of life, where every day you wake up and you're like, damn, I've got another day on this planet. This planet's fucked up and I'm here to help it. Let's get to fucking work. Sleeves up, charge on. That's the choice in the fucking moment, okay? And anyone can have that reality. You go to a UNICEF camp in South Sudan and you interview people. Some people are like, man, they're happy and they're joyous and they're loving life, and some people are just going to tell you stories for the next 20 years about the atrocities they've seen. And both are justified, but have a guess who's living the better quality of life. The person who's seen the atrocities, seen their families slaughtered with machetes, and just going, okay, that happened, bad luck, I'm not gonna. I'm moving on. Or the person just replays in that head with full of anger and resentment towards the attackers. So it's like, it doesn't make the behavior right. I'm just saying what's really, really wrong is beating yourself up and beating other people up mentally or physically or emotionally forever, holding resentment because of their mental health, what they've done in a bad way, etc. Does that make sense? It's just a choice in the moment every day to live a fucking amazing quality of life by having gratitude and acceptance and fascination for how things work in the world. Or you can have every day where you have resentment and anger and spite and be fueled by that, and it's your choice. And it's okay occasionally to feel a little bit of spite, feel a little bit of anger. It's okay. Maybe punch out another set in the gym or push a bit harder on the pedals. You can sort of play with that a little bit, but don't let it become your identity. Don't let it show on your face of anger and rage, okay? Otherwise, it's like, man, what's the point of living, man? Fuck that, Fuck that. There you go. That's my 5 steps to Sigma. If you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up. If you hated it, give it a thumbs down. Leave a comment what you thought. Subscribe for more content like this. This was off the cuff, no script. I just thought, someone said, "What's the steps to being alpha?" I'm like, well, 5. Let's create 5 steps to being alpha, being Sigma. And this is what I came up with. These are the most important steps, the most important 5 steps in no particular order. They all really ride off each other because they're all interlinked by dopamine and serotonin and other helpful neurotransmitters. But yeah, you go out there, you look at guys like Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate's depressed. Guys like Andrew Huberman, they're tired eyes, they're running on stims, they're tired people. Joe Rogan, they're all fantastic speakers, and they're alpha in their demographic, but they're all massively depressed and fatigued, okay? Because they buy into the sugar's bad, they buy into drugs are cool, they just buy into all the wrong things, and they're victims of the social narratives out there. So I would call them alpha in their fields, but they're definitely not Sigma because all those guys conform to social narratives. Sugar's bad. You got to have a Porsche and Ferrari to be successful. You got to wear a Rolex. So they go with that. But yeah, they conform to society, and as a result, they become victims of society. Because if we live for the approval of society, we'll die by the rejection of society. Think about it. Thanks for listening. I appreciate it.